Hello, I am Malek Khaled. I am a journalist and a university instructor who resides in Beirut. I can hardly trace my origins. I actually belong to Lebanon and to Palestine at the same time. My family originates from Tyre, which is a coastal city in South Lebanon, but they lived in Haifa in the 40s in the last century, and that was right before Nakba. In days like these, my family and all the families that lived in Haifa and in so many parts of Palestine were forced to flee the aggression and the bloody massacres that were committed by the Zionist gangs. My family moved back to Tyre. But ever since then, every one of my family grew up to be a part of the resistance against Israel on the way to return to Haifa. None of us made it, obviously. We're still under occupation and we're still struggling to go back. Personally, I was a little child when the first Intifada happened, and I saw what is it to be an Israeli and what is it to be a Palestinian, and I chose to be a Palestinian. And this identity crisis that I've lived forever, when asked, are you Lebanese or Palestinian? And I say both, and everyone's like, you can be both. Well, I can be. I am. This is what I am. I've lived with this crisis forever. I don't think of it as a crisis all the time. Sometimes I think it's a blessing, actually, because it gives depth to the human experience I'm having in life. But I've always asked myself, what if? I think there hasn't been a day since I became aware of who I am that I didn't ask myself, what if? What if I was born in Haifa? What if Nakba didn't happen? What if I grew up in Haifa? What will my life be? How would I be choosing and deciding and committing myself to anything in this life? I actually live in Haifa. Yeah, it's not a lie, actually. Thanks to technology, I live in Haifa because I pass on every street almost every day through Google Earth and Google Map. I know where our house is. I know the stairs from our house to the Hadar Street. I know how the sea looks from our balcony. And our house in Wadi Salim, that was closed for almost 7 decades, has been renovated with 900 buildings in the valley that was full of Arabs once. Lebanese, Palestinians, from every nationality you can think of, because Haifa was the cosmopolitan city of that time, actually. Our house in Wadi Salim has been renovated, badly renovated. Ugh. It's just like, Israel doesn't belong to the area, so is the renovation they made. It's just like, uglification. It's being promoted for sale, for, residents, to solve the residents' problem of, finding houses in Haifa. What these residents don't know and wouldn't know is that this house is doomed to be ours, is blessed to be ours. I always ask myself, what if we lived there and this house witnessed all our fights and talks and chats and disagreements and tears and occasions, our birthdays, our weddings, our divorces, our births? What if? And I never get the answer, because Palestine is so far away yet so close in geography. As long as the Israeli occupation continues, as long as I'm going to be living in this terminal, the movie The Terminal, where Tom Hanks lives somewhere in the middle of an airport and he doesn't know how to get out. Yes, this is the life of my life and my people's life, mostly. We're stuck in a life that is not ours. Our life is in Palestine, and until the liberation of Palestine, and that includes our right to return to where we originate from and where our grandparents' houses were, we will still be living in this transit life. And to know how hard and bad this is, just imagine yourself living in our shoes. Just imagine you were Palestinians exiled from their homeland, and people brought from all over the world to live in their house without knowing what are the memories, what are the agonies that the owners of this house, the owners of this land have been through. Thank you for listening.